Greetings, welcome in everyone. My name is Ruth. I am a clairvoyant and a tarot reader. Today we're going to be looking at the Thanksgiving week and to see what changes are coming to the world, to spirituality, to humanity on a world scale. We're going to be taking a look as well as several of the changes politically, but that will be at the end of the video if you want to stay tuned for that. At the end, we will also be finishing up with messages from our spirit guides for this Thanksgiving week. But right now, I want to welcome you. I want to say happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for being here. I know it is the evening, Thanksgiving Eve. It is the evening before, but I just wanted to do this reading for this week. There's a lot of things happening. We have 5 planets in retrograde right now, and I'm going to share a little bit about that and do a card pull. But when a planet stations in retrograde, according to the astrologers, is instead of going on its normal cycle around, it stations from Earth's point of view and it goes backwards in a circle. So a retrograde is like a time to review, to rethink, and to reconsider that energy from that planet or that realm. So it's when that realm or that planet, the energies are heightened, they're stronger, they're more intense, and they're kind of doing a semi-review. So Mercury, for example, carries the energy of documents, contracts, writing, thoughts, and words. So we have to oftentimes be careful what we say during Mercury retrograde, because the energy of our words or our contracts are strong, and it's time to review, and it's not necessarily time to launch. So that's why everyone says, be careful what you say, go slow during Mercury retrograde. But each planet has its own energy. So I'm going to do a card pull on that just to see what's happening. I also feel that the timelines are wide open right now. I know that they were wide open last month, but I feel right now in this November timeline, that either timelines are collapsing and new ones are opening, and that's why I feel like timelines are wide open. What do I mean by a timeline? Good question. A timeline to me is this trajectory of events that you take when you make decisions. So this could be your personal timeline where you decide to leave one job and go to another job. You are creating your own different timeline. So there is a timeline with you on the job you were on, and there's a timeline with you on the job you're headed toward. But there's also timelines of the collective, of humanity, where all of collective or a group of people choose a specific event. So they might choose to vote someone into office, and that makes a timeline, or they might choose to vote someone else into office and with different policies, and that makes another timeline. So what I feel is what's happening, at least in my end of things, I'm seeing timelines collapse. I'm seeing myself making complete changes and having so many options of how I could direct my life in 2026. I'm seeing on the world stage resignations. I'm seeing different documents being released for review. We just had in the US as well 2 National Guard members of our military shot in our Capitol, around our Capitol building in Washington, D.C. And there was a suspect. All 3 of them are critically injured. 2 National Guardsmen and 1 suspect who is critically injured at this moment. And that goes right along with Uranus in retrograde. So let's get started. I'll show you the planets and then we'll do some card pulls. But I want to start first with the card pulls of what is going on with the timelines. Is my intuition correct? Am I just connecting to, maybe I'm changing timelines? Maybe several light workers are changing timelines. If you feel that you're in a point of making new decisions, put it in the chat, in the comments, on the replay. Let me know if you're also feeling that. I do believe that some light workers will be called to shift the timeline, and some light workers will be called to hold steady and anchor in. So are you a shifter right now, where you're shifting certain realities and making decisions differently than you used to? Or are you an anchor point where you're just going steady? And thank you so much if you are, because those of us who are making decisions desperately need you to be that anchor. We are relying upon your energy more than we and you realize. So either way, there is no right or wrong. Good evening, Richard. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate every single one of you, because without you, I just would not enjoy this half as much. I enjoy doing readings, but I do not enjoy it half as much as when I do it with you all. Spirit, what can you tell us about the timelines? What is happening? Are people making choices? Are timelines collapsing? Are timelines opening? What can you tell us about the timelines of Earth on a world scale? Okay, a lot of information here. We have the card of Two of Wands, and this is a timeline card because it's two, and it represents a portal to me. We have the card of lack, being left behind. This would suggest that certain decisions are being made in the collective to leave things behind. We have a rebalancing, and I just heard the word reshuffling, a shuffling of time, reshuffling of choices, a change of seasons. And then I heard slow, planning, slow steps forward, slow plans, slow movement forward. And this really looks like the gears on a clock. The gears just changing slowly and redoing time, almost like the daylight savings time, where somebody said they watched the clock, their digital clock on their phone, and when it was supposed to turn to 2 o'clock, it just jumped back to 1 o'clock. So it was 1:59, and then it jumps back to 1 o'clock. So it really jumps back in time in the digital era, in the digital clock. So I'm getting a reshuffling. I'm getting a new plans being made, new events on the horizon. Something about a new way forward is opening for the collective. I do get a poor timeline and then a positive balance timeline. A poor timeline, meaning the negative timeline, and then a balanced timeline. Okay, let's get a full spread. Yeah, a conflicted timeline and leaving other timelines. A lot of humanity are leaving negativity behind and moving forward into new timelines. So this is confirming my intuition that there are multiple timelines open, and there are multiple people choosing different timelines. And this could be why the whole world seems to be in chaos right now. There could even be some higher cosmic level of timeline patching and timeline shifting from the higher realms, future humanity, and even, could you say, Doctor Strange type people. Timeline collapsing, timelines shifting, shuffling, and reopening. What can you tell us about the events on the world stage? Okay, we have the first card in the entire deck, the Fool card, coming up. So this is a brand new timeline that Earth has currently been on for a little bit, but it has been conflicting timelines trying to take over this current one. So we went on to a nice positive timeline, and I'm getting at the beginning of November for this one. We hit a very beautiful timeline. This was a timeline where for US citizens, we were told you're going to get $2,000 in your pocket, right? Just because of the tariffs that were coming. This is the timeline where Christmas was going to be a beautiful holiday. This is where the timeline where things were working out in the favor, where justice was starting to be served, where the Epstein files are being released, okay? This is a timeline of a little bit more clarity and a little bit more freedom and definitely more resources. But then something crept in, and I'm getting like on week 2 of November, week 3, which we're just coming out of, right? We just came the last 2 weeks. I'm getting a timeline tried to pop up, which was very negative, and actually went to a war. And when I say the timelines are at war, I simply mean that there was a major group of people, a group of people that had power, okay? They contain energy. So either they can alter world events, they can do things with the stock market, they can make corporate decisions on a worldwide scale, they can make international decisions. This could be something like international bankers, intelligence agencies, nations. These kind of world players had the ability to somehow insert a negative alternate agenda and try to steer events into the favor of corruption, the favor of something else. And so the timelines went to war. One was a little bit more positive. I'm even hearing rumors of a possible peace treaty between Ukraine and Russia that, oh, I forget his name, not Rubio, but there's somebody in the current administration who is working hard. I think he's an attorney of some sort, trying to bring peace between the two. And I'm getting some positive remarks from him down in the side channel saying it's looking like there could be peace on the world stage. So we hit a timeline where money was starting to flow, where peace was starting to arise. And then a secondary timeline hit. And that's what I want to ask Spirit. Who or what was this timeline that tried to hijack? And let me say this, there is I want to show you how this timeline was possibly hijacked. Number one, and I'm going to see if I can pull up. Number one, the IRS in the United States had just approved and agreed to President Trump's deal with the American people to give each person each citizen $2,000. Okay, the IRS approved it, so it went through the proper channels. The IRS approved it. The Supreme Court agreed to it. So that's the positive timeline. And then all of a sudden, something pokes its head in and says, "Oh, this is not going to come till January or February." So that is how a timeline is hijacked. When somebody like Mr. T says, "I want to get you guys this money by Christmas," and then suddenly something pops up. It could be a policy that arose. It could be a secretary of the Treasury. I'm speculating, but it could be someone who says, no, we can't do that. We need to do this. I did see that the international bankers are the ones that threw that in the mix. They said something about the transitioning of the banks, and it was really, really interesting to see how that was just kind of like the international banks put a stop on it coming sooner to the American people. So that is how a timeline is hijacked. It's a powerful, energetic, alternate source that tries to insert their events or tries to hinder or change something. Okay, I have here different examples of the timeline we were on. Breaking: Ukraine has accepted the terms of the peace deal brokered by the United States. It says, for months, the Wall Street Journal has held a story detailing the personal corruption of Yermak, the second most powerful man in Ukraine. So this is how the timeline gets hijacked. There's a peace deal a month or so ago in Alaska, right? But then now the information comes out of how that timeline was hijacked. Wall Street Journal kept back a story that could have exposed the personal corruption of Andriy Yermak, the second most powerful man in Ukraine. Yermak has skimmed hundreds of millions in American tax dollars that were meant for Ukrainian aid. The journal's editors can prove that, but they're not. Instead, they're protecting Yermak. Why? Remember, I said there's powerful forces with different agendas that can alter the timelines of Earth. Because Yermak is leading Ukrainians' efforts to scuttle the peace plan for Eastern Europe. The owners of the Wall Street Journal don't want peace with Russia. They want war. At the same time, the journal's editorial page has attacked the Trump administration for pushing a peace agreement. This is true corruption. Without informing its readers, the Murdoch family is using both sides of its newspaper to continue the war with Russia. This is not the behavior of a news organization. It is the hallmark of an intel agency. And this was written, it was a tweet by Pepe Deluxe, and he or she retweeted Tucker Carlson. And the person says, I can't believe the Wall Street Journal would hide Ukraine corruption and instigate a war to continue against Russia and defy the will of the president and the American people. And then we see you, Murdoch. So it was an attack against Murdoch, who is the Wall Street Journal, somehow involved in the Wall Street Journal. Anyway, now this is alleged, okay? This is only one part of the story. We obviously have to hear both sides. But that is an example of how a possible peace deal could start. One timeline, and then somebody hijacks it by simply stealing funds and embezzling money. And it doesn't necessarily mean that person did it. Again, we have to listen to both sides, but that is how the timelines shift. And so we are getting the military card. So there is military activity that is pressuring this timeline or coming into this timeline, which could represent the war, conflict, trouble. So I just want to ask about the secondary timeline. This war of timelines and this secondary one that popped up to hinder the one we were on that began around November. Give me some detail. Knight of Swords, war. So the first card was Knight of Wands, and the second one is military again, Knight of Swords. Secret military operations that are not being told, and then resources and money. So this is actually confirming that there is secret agendas on an international scale, that they're trying to collect more money for themselves. It involves money and it is secret. And I don't think we're being told the full story of how these two agendas are really at play in the world. All right, enough on timelines though. We can look to see if there's messages at the end for these timelines. Stay tuned if you want to hear some questions on the politics side of things at the end. But I want to ask just a few more questions about the Mercury retrograde and the planets. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Bear with me if it blacks out here. Okay, share my screen. How many planets are in Mercury retrograde? As of November 27th, so that's tomorrow. I don't know why time is kind of weird, but anyway. As of November 27th, there are 5 planets in retrograde: Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. This period of overlapping retrogrades began on November 9th and is considered a significant time for introspection, reassessment, and internal recalibration across various aspects of life, including your life and including the world stage. Mercury retrograde, occurring from November 9th to November 29th. This retrograde began in the constellation Sagittarius and moved into Scorpio, affecting communication, thought processes, and the resurfacing of old emotional conversations. Jupiter retrograde began November 9th and will end November 11th to March 11th. Notice it's 1111, right? Jupiter is in Cancer, prompting a focus on emotional growth, family dynamics, and inner security. And again, a retrograde means the energy will be more intense. So with Mercury, the retrograde is intense thought processes, intense emotional conversations, intense communication. Mercury retrograde is intense emotional growth, intense family dynamics, and finding inner security. So it's more pressurized. Saturn retrograde. This retrograde began July 25 and concludes on November 28th, emphasizing the need for discipline, responsibility, and the alignment of dreams with consistent effort. Boy, is that true for me, is needing to be consistent with my dreams. So again, it's more intensified. You might feel this desire to intensify your discipline, intensify your consistency and responsibility. Uranus retrograde. Now watch this one. Running from September 6th to February 4th, so we're in for a few more months of that. Uranus moved from Gemini into Taurus in early November, bringing sudden shifts and a focus on how choices feel physically and emotionally. This could very well, and Uranus is also the planet of, and Neptune, the planet of shocks, lightning bolts, shootings, and just intense upheaval, both Uranus and retrograde, Uranus and Neptune. I forget which one is about the shots, assassinations, and things like that. So it's just interesting that today in Capitol Hill, we had a shootout between the National Guard and another suspect. Okay, so bringing sudden shifts. We also have a lot of resignations and a lot of accusations going around the world stage, and the Trump administration about he's firing different people and other people saying that's a lie. So there's a lot of sudden changes. Marjorie Taylor Greene actually just resigned. She's done in January 5th, excuse me. We know that Prince Andrew has recently resigned. So it's all with the September 6th retrograde of Uranus and the July 4th retrograde of Neptune, sudden shocks, shifts, resignations. And Neptune retrograde from July 4th to December 10th. Neptune in Pisces encourages the dissolution of illusions and deeper insight into subconscious patterns and spiritual clarity. Hence why everyone is demanding the Epstein files to be released. Starting from July 4 to December 10th, people don't like illusions. The illusions are getting very uncomfortable. So the illusions are being pressurized by this retrograde to dissolve. And those who are willing to let the illusions, the lies, the corruption be exposed will go through this a lot more clearly. Okay, so that's a little bit about the Mercury retrogrades, or I should say all the retrogrades here. So I want to ask Spirit, what is being done for humanity during these retrogrades? So I want to just ask for the human on the collective scale. Okay, just our human being, our human body, our spiritual, our emotional body. Okay. The Hanged Man. So things do feel a little bit tight and intense. We have a lot of options, but we are also getting awakened dreams. And by this, new desires. Like we feel in a tight position and we're getting new desires popping off. Like, oh, I want to do this. So since July, have you been feeling this inspiration or these ideas to do different things? To maybe change your career or to work on a different project or to try something new or to meet somebody new? But then you also feel like you start and then you stop, or you start and then it kind of like morphs and it's not what you thought it was. That's what these retrogrades are doing for humanity. We're feeling a need to really protect our energy and pull into ourselves. We're getting a lot of downloads and inspiration during this time. And we're also getting intense relationships occurring. So these intense relationships are just an awareness of how we interact with each other. How do we communicate? How do we really feel about our relationships? Are they really supporting us? Masculine energy, ending of cycles. And then we have family dynamics with the children, father and mother. So the masculine energy within us all might be feeling an end to a cycle, ending anything within us that is not balanced in our masculine energy. And then any kind of relationship with a father, father-daughter, daughters or sons. Father-daughter, mother-daughter, son, father, son, mother, son. Yeah, I'm seeing like children relationships are really affected as well. And this does not mean that it is purely, underage or minors. This could be you as an adult or you as a parent to an adult child as well. So it's just that kind of dynamic across the world. Cycles are ending. The way people have been responding to each other is changing. People are willing to get new ways of communication. You might have felt an interest in therapy, an interest in getting clairvoyant readings, an interest in saying, I just want to tweak this in my life. Or what if I treated this person just a little bit different? What if I set some more boundaries? Or what if I loosened my boundaries? Things like that are really playing a role in our reconsideration, our reassessment process during these retrogrades. But overall, we do have a lot of support from the cosmos in the terms of inspiration, downloads, ideas, thoughts. Yeah, there's a lot coming in from our higher self. And so they are gifts to us from the universe that we can use to help us get onto a good, proper timeline. Okay, now what's going on with the world? How are these retrogrades affecting the world? Some people have I've heard some astrologers call retrogrades, when you have more than 3 or 4 of them at a time, they call it retrograde city. So what is retrograde city doing for the world, and how is it going to shift for us, especially this week? What's happening up till now, culminating into this week? Because at the end of this week, on Friday and Saturday, right after Thanksgiving, or is it Saturday and Sunday, Mercury is going direct and Saturn is going direct. And oh, thank God, because I feel those 2 planets the most. So what's shifting in the world right now because of these retrogrades? And especially this week, what are we going to see because of this week? Because of what's happening this week. Downloads. Whoa. I got some of the, okay, I was literally shuffling the cards, but I got some of the same ones, but some of them are different. Okay, I got the cards of the Ace of Swords, which is downloads, and a lot of different kinds of inspiration, ideas, and thoughts. So if you're looking to do something different, to awaken a project, to start doing something different with your family, to look into a different relationship, to explore different possibilities in your business, you're going to be supported there. It's really, really a time when the heavens are open for your mind. The heavens are opening with a portal to your mind. And then I'm hearing the words, as long as you don't overthink. Okay, and this King of Pentacles is in the center. He's stable, he's calm, he's balanced, he's practical. So as long as you keep things practical, your ideas will be well balanced, right? Balance your ideas and inspiration with practicality. Don't run, walk. Take time to simply make plans this week. You might get a lot of ideas to launch different things, but walk, don't run. Just make plans. Put it down on paper. Come back to it next week again and see how you feel about it. And I realized that because just today, I got the inspiration to take this Wednesday night live and bring it to noon on Wednesday. Noon or 1 o'clock on Wednesday. And I really have this desire to do like mini readings throughout the week for each day, looking at world events. And we could just pull on Marjorie Taylor Greene one day. We could pull on Prince Andrew another day. We could pull on Ireland, another day. Like we could just look at it as the Ascension prog. But this message is for me. If it's for you, put it in the comments too. But saying, you getting an idea, don't shift right now. Don't launch into that. Don't change it right now. Just think about it. How does it feel? Integrate it into your system. What would that look like? Could you commit to that inspiration? How would your life change if you committed? And so that's what I'm getting here for the collective. I'm getting also on the world stage, because I think I asked for the world stage here. So I apologize that I kind of went more personal. But I just want to clarify, because on the world stage, this could be a little bit of getting another message for what's happening on the world stage. Okay, Ace and the Magician. Okay. Stay really balanced in the next few weeks. Stay emotionally balanced, because on the world stage, I think the banking industry is going to start shifting and changing. And I believe a lot of these retrogrades has been shifting the digital side of the banking system. We have digital side, Ace of Swords, and then the King of Pentacles, the banks. And they have a lot of work to do. They have had a lot of work to do. And they have used, again, I'm getting this message, they are going to use the holidays to transition things. So Thanksgiving week is going to be a big change of financial things, but we're not going to see it. It's simply the underlying financial shifts to the digital banking world. This could be cryptos. This is everything. This is major corporations, the banks. This isn't just the small little market men and the small little the currencies. This is major. This is currency, but it's currency across all platforms, and it is definitely involving major international financial players. Yeah, I think we're going to see some different ways money shifts. I believe that we're going to money is going to get a new energy after this week. Money, once the retrogrades come online and they go direct, these planets, money is going to have a different energy. And not just money, but the world's going to have a different energy. It's like, okay, we went on a long walk in the woods. We went on a hike. We sat, we thought, we considered, we wrote our plans. We were there for 6 hours. And when we come back, we're just ready to start our project. That's what it was for the last month, 2 months, or 3 months. We had planets that just basically pressurize us to relook at life. And then when they go direct, it feels like we have new energy. So the world is going to have a new energy, and I'm getting especially after Christmas, especially in around Christmas, because one of them is going direct on the 28th, one's going direct on the 29th of November, and then we have one going direct on December 11th. So we're going to have 3 planets release their pressure and move into a more positive directory for the world. All right, so that's what I have for the timelines. I hope that helped. I'll do one more reading at the end for any Thanksgiving messages from our guides. But I do want to ask some questions about the political side of things. The resignations have been popping off like crazy. Okay, I want to ask about Prince Andrew. I want to ask if he really is as corrupt as it appears that he is, because it says that he had some dealings with some, I don't want to say it online, so go ahead and do your own research, but he resigned his royal title. All right, and that happened, I think, in October and November. But of course, Neptune went retrograde in July, and Uranus went retrograde in September. So that is the resignations, the shocks, especially political leaders on world stage. So he was put into a very difficult position. He was pressurized. We have a king here, which would represent Prince Andrew, and then we have a king. And I want to remember, this is not King Charles, this is not Prince William, this is not Prince Harry, this is Prince Andrew. Sometimes I get them mixed up. So he was pressured. He was put into a very, very tight spot. Give me a full reading on Prince Andrew and why he resigned. Okay, we have the 9 of Wands, which is a protection, again, that pressure. We have the Hanged Man, pressure. We have 4 of Pentacles. And I immediately heard the words, he was threatened to be arrested. He received a threat that if he didn't do XYZ, didn't follow these rules, that he was going to be arrested. He was also very stressed out about being arrested. And so he did the first move to put himself into a position so that he would not catch more charges than he really did. He was very stressed out. He was worried, concerned of being possibly charged with criminal activity. The World card, he completely changed his life. Talk about a timeline shift for him. And Justice coming in, and Five of Swords. They still have not decided everything that they're going to do with him. There is still conflict about how he should be handled. And he jump-started things by resigning in order to try to get a better deal, in order to get more favor from the people. But I do not believe it's over for Prince Andrew. Okay. Pressure. A lot of pressure from the universe upon him. Marjorie Taylor Greene of the United States. She's is she a senator or a congressman? She's a congressman from Georgia, the state of Georgia. She recently put out a letter saying she was resigning. Her last day is going to be January 5th. It appears that she was very angry at the establishment and the Republican Party because they seem to not be moving fast enough with eliminating corruption. And this is what she said: eliminating corruption and dealing with things the way the people want them. So she wrote a huge letter and said she is resigning. That is at least her side of the story that she's presenting. Spirit, what can you tell us about Marjorie Taylor Greene? The Magician card, the King card, okay, the Six of Cups. She had already decided to do this. This was a plan. I'm getting money, financial money, a new contract. She felt trapped. She's getting herself out of a major trap, dealing with contracts and agreements. So there could be a contract that ended concerning money. There could be a contract ended that she might possibly be investigated for. I am not getting that she is upset at anybody. I'm getting two contracts. Well, one contract. So two cards that represent contracts, writing, agreements. I'm getting the energy of, I want to see if this is money or if this is children, right? I'm also getting a masculine energy, a magician energy coming from the King of Cups. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. This is related to money, but this could be motherhood too. I'm not sure if she has children. I'm getting this is children. This is related to children. So how is this her children? Home, conflict, independence. Yeah, something is going on with her home life that she is trying to resolve, but she is not letting us know that. There is, again, the first thing I saw when I saw that was children, and I'm like, it could represent money, and I think money is involved. Something about her being independent and wanting, and there's conflict in her home. But there was a contract that she felt tied to, and this is a way she could get out and do it safely and right. Anything else? Secret betrayals and lies. Okay. This could be accusations coming toward her, and she is protecting herself. Okay. She's protecting her children or her family, people related to her. I do not know if she has children, but I'm seeing children, I'm seeing family dynamics. And there could have been a threat against her family. There could have been a threat, a secret attempt, a threat. This could be related to like a Charlie Kirk situation where she doesn't want to put her family in danger. I am not getting that she is angry at the establishment as much as she says she is. She is using that as a way to wake people up and to help people see the truth. But she is stepping down for personal reasons. And she is stepping down because there's something on the horizon that is not good. It's not good. This is either an accusation or plot or threat against her family, or it's something that she was involved in accidentally and she's just protecting her family and she's pulling out. But something's not being told here. There's a lot of secrets and a lot of possible betrayal energy that I think she has, and I'm not getting this as the first part, so I don't think this is her. I think she came across a threat, a plot, something that could have put her family in danger. Okay. And she's not telling it. We got the card of not telling the whole truth, but there was a possible backstabbing energy, a secret plan to possibly hurt her family. All right, so we'll just take that as it resonates here. Again, the universe will only give us what we're supposed to see and what we need to see. So I don't want to uncover anything more of that result. Okay, so the rumors are going around the U.S. presidential administration, the current administration, that President Trump is going to fire Susie Wiles, his chief of staff. President Trump is going to fire Kash Patel. I believe he's the director of the FBI. Our intelligence agencies. And I have my other source, somebody telling me that's not true because she somebody else kind of is in contact with people who are in contact with this administration. So let's just go ahead and pull, what are these accusations about the U.S. administration, current administration, what's happening here? Is this coming from them? Is this lies being spread, or are they true? What can you tell us about the rumors about key cabinet members being fired from the White House? What's going on, and why is this all popping off during Mercury, Saturn, and Uranus retrograde, among others? Energy, divine turning of events, the Sun card, military changes, and would be administration, intelligence, okay? They're all one big happy family. Okay, the energy coming in is there is no betrayal energy between them. There is no anger between them. There is no animosity. There's nothing. We have the beautiful Sun card, which is the golden age energy of positivity. We have two cards coming up. Energy and divine cosmic alignment, but changes, but divine alignment. We have the intelligence agencies and the military, positive. This is the good military card in the deck. Then we have family, one big happy family. So this is to confirm that I don't know what this is. Interesting. We have the Hanged Man, things are tight, and then rebalancing, the reshuffling. So this could be rumors coming from these opposing timelines. So when we have multiple timelines kind of like do this wonky thing where they fight for each other, sometimes information from a negative timeline trickles into the higher positive timeline. And sometimes the positive timeline trickles into the negative timeline, which is why you will get a political figure post something on Facebook or post something on Twitter, and then 2 weeks later he posts something totally different. I'm a firm believer that is a timeline trickle. That's where this person would have made that decision if he had gone or they had gone on this negative timeline, and this decision was made on this timeline, right? So it's definitely possible carryovers from different timelines. Like, people don't even know where these rumors are coming from. So I'm thinking it's the timeline wars. Which way are we going? We have the family card. Everything is okay. Everything is okay concerning those rumors of the U.S. current presidential administration. So I want to do one more card. I know this is going to be weird, but there's a lot of tarot readers out there that take sides on the tarot thing. And they say that President Trump will pass away soon. There are many, many people who are anti the current administration as tarot readers are saying that he will die. He will pass away. Now, it's very important as a tarot reader that I can't take sides. In connection with my higher self and the cosmos and the guides of light, I have to call the cards the way they see it. If they would say something against my beliefs, I have to call it according to that, okay? But let me go ahead and just pull, because we're on the topic of weird things. Spirit, what can you tell us about the prophecy and prediction coming in that President Trump will pass away, die, or leave office? What can you tell me about this? Thank you so much. Is this prediction true, or is it wish fulfillment? Okay. We have the Five of Pentacles, which is something's lacking. A key of information is lacking. Eight of Swords, which is being mentally trapped. I'm just reading the energy. The Tower card, which would be possible assassination attempts or accidents that cause accidents. The Star card, the change of events card, and then the Independent card. So there are 3 cards that came up. Like there's something missing when they do readings. They're not getting the full story, and their mind could be blocked, and they could be tapping into the possible assassination attempts. I believe President Trump had, last I checked, about a year ago, he had 22 assassination attempts that the Secret Service had not completely given out to the public. So 22 attempts. So there is a possibility that they're not getting the full story and they're tapping into possible wish fulfillment or wishes, desires of people who have those plans against him. The other message coming in is the Star card, which is the higher consciousness. The ending of a cycle, which is blocking and stopping those events, stopping those tower moments. So there is divine, independent, divine interruption of possible events, possible timelines where Mr. T could have died, passed away, even still to this day. If there are timelines where he could have passed or will pass, there are some people from the stars that are literally turning away those kind of events and keeping the timeline open for higher graded possibilities, independent, freedom, sovereignty. I'm not getting any death card. I'm not getting any cards coming in. I'm getting that I think what they're doing is they're tapping into some of the plans of the dark ones to try to cause a death. So I'm just going to leave it there. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. Are there any of the star people, the people of the stars, the guides, the galactics, the people of light, the angels, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, and the forces of light that you are, the beings of Archangel Raphael and Jophiel, Haniel and Sachiel? Do you have any messages, any galactics from the Palladians, the Arcturians that come through only Christ's light? Do you have any messages for us as a collective during this Thanksgiving? What messages do you have for us? We are open and willing for that which is for our best and highest good. It is so. All right, we have several cards that flipped out. Queen of Pentacles. So this is the energy of divine feminine protection and nurturance. The feminine angel guides are really active right now. I can totally feel their energy in this room. Like something shifted when I said that little prayer. Like I can feel like this pressure coming in through here. My hand is vibrating. There's definitely like something where it is. I don't know. There's something like right here. All right, that is beautiful. Somebody, if not all of you, have divine feminine beings and presences that are supporting you. You can call upon them. I'm hearing the words Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Mother Isis. Many people believe Mother Mary is a incarnation of Mother Isis. Why? Because this was fascinating. Isis helped to raise her partner from the dead, her husband from the dead, and Mary helped to raise her son from the dead. So it was like a culmination of her work, repairing the light body, helping to repair the light body of Jesus so that he could come in and be a light body. Many people believe that in the feminine mysteries, the feminine energy carries the ability to connect us to our life body, the ascended feminine. And so they can literally create the energy of creation. And so Isis recreated energetically. Her husband, was it Horus or was it Osiris? I forget. I apologize. And so Mother Mary, she went to the tomb after he died and they embalmed him, and she came, and with the woman they actually literally did a ritual that helped him connect to his light body. And so he embodied the Christ energy in a major way. Many people are not sharing the story of that possible resurrection, but the women were definitely connected, and it's hidden in scripture because they appeared at his tomb. And allegedly, Mary Magdalene was the first woman that Christ appeared to. So there's a divine feminine mystery and a possible light body resurrection there. So that's one. The feminine energies are close. Call upon them. If you feel drawn to them, call upon them. Even if it's the fairies, the goddesses of light. Always ask, though, that it comes in light and that you're protected in whether you use Christ energy, divine light, only for what's for my best and highest good. And always set protection, though. You have spiritual gifts in the Page of Swords. So there might be some, I hear the words knocking on the wall. I want further clarity on that. There might be some knocking on the wall of some information might come in, but it's not for your best and highest good, and it's because of the opposing timelines. Thank you. There's two timelines for the entire world. So some information might come in that's not completely accurate right now. And so that's why Spirit said, take your time, relook at things, reassess things, don't go too fast, because some of them might be good ideas, but they might be from that alternate timeline that the dark ones are coming in, and it's not for you. So spiritual ideas that are not completely everything, you don't have the full picture yet, which is interesting. That's very interesting because that message is for me too. So yeah, take your spiritual ideas, put them on paper, explore them, but don't run, just walk. And then this is one last message from our guides. Some one of you have had a desire for more messages from beyond, more downloads, more intuition, more inspiration. This is for you. You have a group of beings, guides and guardians. I hear girls and guardians. You have a group of girls and guardians, spiritual guides, that are here to give you knowledge, information, and wisdom. And I'm hearing the words, this is for some of you, not all of you, break the contract with your past. Break the agreements and rewrite new contracts for your life. Wow. Rewrite your contracts, because there's a new energy coming in to support whatever you create or write or intend or decide now. So if you do put things on paper and you say, I'm interested in this idea, I'm interested in moving forward, I'm looking for more messages from beyond, that intention is heard, and you will be supported with divine energy in everything that's for your best and highest good, especially in the coming December, January, and February months. All right. Thank you so much for joining me here today, everyone. I want to share a little bit about the NORWEX products that I have. I recently got a kitchen essentials kit, okay? The kitchen essentials kit have the silver in it. This is the tea towel. As you can see, I kind of used it today. I got some. So this is the tea towel, and you can hang it up here by the thing. The tea towel, the drying cloth towel. It has 2 layers. It has one that's a little bit more rough and one that's a little bit more soft. It does not smell. It does not collect bacteria. It does not harbor germs. What you do is you wipe your cloths on it. You could rinse it out in hot water and hang it up to dry, and it self-cleans so that bacteria doesn't grow. Same with the dishcloth, and it actually comes with an actual netting with the silver backlock in it as well, so it does not harbor bacteria. My favorite, however, is this. You can hang it on your stove or in your bathroom. It is cloth where whenever you cut you cut your vegetables, you cut your chicken up, you cut your salmon, you go ahead and you get that tomato sauce, and then you rinse your hands, but you never wash them. Is that anybody? That's me. I rinse my hands, I go touch a cloth, and I know I've got raw egg on my hands, but I keep cooking, right? And I just go and I dry my hands. This is specifically tuned to catch the raw egg, to catch that raw meat, to catch the tomato sauce, and it literally sucks it in, and there is no cross-contamination. It literally seals it until you wash it, and then when you wash it, it releases it, and then it self-cleans itself. So it does not spread your germs. When you go and you hang it up here, and you just you rinse your hands, and you just go and clean it and continue washing, and it just sucks up all that cooking debris. So I really like this kit. This does not come with the kit, but I believe there is a sale going on where if you buy enough products, you can get this. So that was going on for November. Go ahead, though, and check out my website, norwex.com, Violet Flame. I will put it here, norwex.com, Violet Flame. And I am an affiliate, and I do get 35% of what you order. So if you're interested in these products, go ahead and check it out. You can also book with me a reading. If you want a private personal reading, you can find it on the website violetflame.net. And feel free to send me an email if you're interested in any of these products. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. Have a wonderful week. I will see you next Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time for a Kingdom Shift update. We will be looking at the different nations of the world and what is happening and what is coming for them. Until next time, thank you so much.